My fun little story is my cousin and her husband went on this trip, and she was the one that said to me, "And what am I supposed to do on this trip while my husband is looking at all of this history?" And on day 4, I looked at her standing back while her husband was talking to one of the guides from one of the museums with the most intent, loving face I have ever seen in my life. And when I went to her and I said, "What are you experiencing right now?" She said, "My husband is in heaven right now, and I am in love with my husband more than ever." There is never a bad time to go to Paris, in my opinion. I think somebody famous may have said something to that effect. When we have couples who go on this trip, often it's the gentleman who is the World War II historian of the couple, and then the female or the partner of that gentleman will say, "And what am I supposed to do on this trip?" And we'll say, "Okay, but we're going to go to Paris, so there's going to be some amazing shopping opportunities for you." And that sells them every single time. So I'm going to get a little something, he's going to get a little something, and we'll both be happy with the trip. I can't even imagine what it would be like. And as I said, having done this itinerary twice, having a guidebook and having to try to figure this out on your own, when you've got somebody with that amount of knowledge and that amount of expertise that can walk you through this whole entire thing. I can't say enough about how important that component of this trip is. We've worked with a historian way back in 2017 when we created this itinerary, and we've tweaked it and changed it slightly, but we've loved it so much and it's been so well received that we continue to do that. I've had the great pleasure of doing this one twice, and each time I learned something a little bit different from the historian, but it's important that we don't just rely on local guides for this particular trip, that we have somebody with us throughout. And so that's why we love having a World War II historian with us. It is very emotional when you see a replica of the boat that the boys landed with and what that might have been like that day. And again, having that historian along, getting you kind of prepared by telling you what that day was like and what the weather was like and how unexpected the weather was. I feel like it's overwhelming. Most of the time, there's a tear in my eye when I'm there and I look around and I see the guests having a tear in their eye as well. So it's pretty emotional. And we also make sure that we don't just do one beach, and we don't just do the one that everybody is so accustomed to, that we do several other beaches so you understand the whole operation, not just that operation. We are going to the American Cemetery in France, but we also go to the American Cemetery in Luxembourg. And that's very, very powerful. It's a very different vibe. And of course, General Patton is buried there. And so that's kind of the highlight of it. But I feel like that's one of those things where people go, wait, 2 cemeteries? Why would we do that? And when you see the difference between the two, you'll understand why we do that. Here is where the World War II historian shines, because this is a little complex part of the war. And so he gives you the lead up to it so that you understand it completely. And there are local guides that we could absolutely get, but I feel like since this historian has been with us from the very beginning of the trip, he knows the temperament of the guests and he knows how to build up the excitement of any particular attraction, if you will, that we're going to see. I think the demographic that seems to love this trip, because we've done it a number of times, have a connection to World War II through a parent. And so lots of times we'll hear people saying, "I've got their papers, I've got their discharge papers. My mother told me this is where he was because he wouldn't tell us where he was," those kinds of things. And so this is also an opportunity for you to immerse yourself in a big part of our history. This trip takes off in May of 2027. Historically, it has sold out in the past. I believe it will sell out again. So this is my invitation to you to join Fox World Travel on Remembrance and Honor. It's definitely worth it.